And today I thought we actually focus on Tain-l'Hermitage. Tain-l'Hermitage is a small village about 80-85 kilometers south of Lyon, along the banks of Rhône, and on the other side of the bank there is Hermitage. Hermitage is known for one thing: red wine, and this is one of the most iconic winemakers in the area, Paul Chocolat. This is their flagship, La Chapelle, from 1991, so it's a 22-year-old bottle of wine, red only of Syrah grape, and I'm gonna sniff it and drink it and see what it tastes like. But also in Tain there is a chocolate manufacturer called Valrhona. And Valrhona is one of the great chocolate manufacturers of the world, so I thought, they got good wine, they got good chocolate. Do the wine and chocolate actually pair? From the same place, from the same geographic place. Not the cocoa beans, but the manufacturing at least. The grapes, yes, from the geographic place. Up on a hill. First off, this is pellet bags. It is couverture chocolate. You buy it in bulk, and this is what chocolatiers and pastry chefs use to do their chocolate desserts and things like that, the pralines and etc. This is Curguanaya. Curguanaya is 80% cocoa, and this is Ashanti, and this is 67% cocoa, so we got a 67 and an 80, and yeah, let's try that. I have recently been there, so that's why I have bags like this. When dealing with pellets, or medallions, or whatever you would call this, it is not that you actually can look at the color of the chocolate. You can see, but they're not molded and cast like a chocolate bar, so they are scuffed and rubbed against each other, so it is hard actually to see what kind of color, texture and glossiness it is on these two. The Ashanti is 67, let's start with that one. It is quite humid and warm outside. The Swedish summer is still going on strong. We have had a perfect July. So let's smell the Ashanti. You got dry tree bark, you got a hint of nutmeg, dark cocoa, yes, and a little bit of tobacco as well. So let's try it. Kind of sweet for being 67% cocoa, cacao. Bitter chocolate, wet tobacco, sour red berries, kind of a little dry papery wood character as well. Even though it's dry, it's very lean, very smooth. Kind of a bitter back end, but that is supposed to be a chocolate. Chocolate has to have a bitter back end to be a little bit of oomph in the chocolate. So, good one. I'm giving this 7 out of 10. Let's go on to the Curguanaya. This actually smells more like cinnamon and sugar and nuts, hazelnuts, roasted almonds, Yeah, sure. We got a hint of tobacco at the end. Way, way, way back. Let's taste it. Kind of very tart and very acidic at the same time. Kind of gooey. 80% cocoa, you usually get a little bit sticky. But still got nice acidity of red fruit, green fruit, paired with cinnamon, tobacco, a little bit of earth. And almost, you can go black chocolate. Can you have a taste of a flavor that is black chocolate? A kind of distinct back end with both the acidity and the bitter tartness competing of your focus, for your focus, competing for your focus. This is a very good 80%. I like this. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. So, we got a 7 and 8 out of 10 from Valrhona, a good chocolate maker from 10 Hermitage. And now let's go to a good winemaker, Paul Jaboulet. And this is the 1991 La Chapelle. And let's see what this smell and taste like, and if it pairs with any of the chocolates. This is decanted, open 2 hours, and aired a little bit more in the glass. Not more than 2 hours, but. And you got a very, very, very fruity nose, but not on the sugary end, but true fruit. My mother makes exquisite lemonade out of red currants, raspberry, blueberry, and this has that kind of fruity nose. You surely got wild raspberry and red currant and a bit of cherry as well. A lot of fruit, and behind that fruit there's a layer of earth-eat cake. It's like a cake, but the layer is made out of moist earth, moist dirt. Also, there's some wood present. I guess that from the barrel as well. From the barrel that the wine was made in. It has a kind of mix between juniper and spruce smell to it. Very intriguing nose, very fresh. The color of the wine is actually, it is not brick red, it is somewhere in between a dark deep crimson red and a brick red. You can see on the rim that it is quite old, the wine, but it's still it got some nice white line to it, and yeah, still young, and it feels young on the nose as well. The sugar and the acidity are excellent on the nose. Let's see how it's on the palate. This is a silky, silky, silky smooth wine, and it should be. The Syrah grape often turns it into a silky wine. It has red currant, cherry, raspberry, and there's I wouldn't say blackberry, but maybe I would say boysenberry, a mix between raspberry and blackberry. The initial attack is actually fruit with a hint of sugar, but then you got some acidity to that, and then the silky smooth texture turns into a white peppery tannin, small but still quite zingy. Back end has maybe a slight problem with turning into even more wood and a little bit of spruce character on that feel, almost like spruce sap, a little bit bitter, but still those layers hitting you, 1, 2, 3, really nice wine. And yeah, I love this kind of wine. So let's try it with the Ashanti, 67% cocoa. The wine is turning the chocolate into milk chocolate instead of being a dark chocolate. You got kind of more toffee-like feel to the flavor. The chocolate, on the other hand, does nothing for the wine, so but not a bad match, not at all. Let's try the little more stingy 80%. You get that bitter chocolate flavor. See how that pairs with this sweet and sour red wine. Since the chocolate had quite a bit of acidity itself, this is on the brink of being too much acidity, both from the wine and from the chocolate. I'd say stick to the lower end of the high cocoa range, so 67 works fine. I guess if you have a 50% cocoa with this wine, I don't know if there's of course there's differences in the vintages, but yeah, that really dark one, they don't mix, but this is good chocolate and this is tremendously good wine. So if you're ever in France and close to Lyon, why don't take a trip down to Tain-l'Hermitage? I assure you, it will be a treat. That's it for today. Bye.